In this video is a battle between two sub £100 microphones, the AT2020 and the Samson Q2U. These are two very popular microphones that can both be had for about £80 on Amazon, links below, and we'll be going through all the features that these two microphones have to offer, doing a sound test so you can make up your mind which one you want to go for. So if you've just stumbled across my channel, consider subscribing for two reasons. One, because my dog wants you to, and the other because we're on the road to 300 subscribers, so enjoy the video. So I picked up the Samson Q2U about 2 years ago, so I got it for doing voiceovers and using on Zoom. I paid about £80 for this microphone and it came with a small stand. This microphone has some very useful features, which is why I decided to go with it. So the first one being is you don't need an audio interface to use it. It actually has a USB port at the bottom, so you can run it straight into your PC using USB. So as well as the USB cable, it also has a headphone jack on the bottom. This allows for monitoring of your audio without the use of an audio interface, which is very useful. And for those of you who do want to use an audio interface, it does actually have an XLR port on the bottom, so it's a very versatile microphone. So on the front, it has an on-off switch, an LED indicator, as well as some volume rockers at the bottom, which allow you to... This actually changes the volume of the audio monitoring headphones, not the gain of the microphone. So when I bought this microphone, I didn't have an audio interface, so this was perfect. Just plug it into your laptop and it works really well. And the audio quality from this microphone sounded really good, and we'll come on to that with some audio tests in a bit. This Q2U is a dynamic microphone. What that means is it doesn't require phantom power. And one feature that's really useful is it actually comes with an inbuilt pop filter, so there's actually some foam underneath this metal mesh. The overall construction of this microphone is really good. It's really weighty and all made of metal. If you would like the best audio quality from this microphone, you need to run an XLR cable through it to an audio interface. Unfortunately, the audio from the USB isn't quite as good as if you were to use an audio interface, but you can get away with just using the USB. It still sounds great. I'm also a fan of the design of this microphone, so it looks like one of those stand-up microphones that you can hold in your hand. Equally, you can put it on a microphone arm or a stand if you would like. It's a very versatile microphone. Next, we're going to move on to the very popular AT2020 microphone. So I just happened to get this microphone with an audio interface that I picked up from Facebook Marketplace, which was very convenient. This microphone would also retail new for about £80. This is actually a very different microphone to the Q2U. As you can see, design-wise, it's very different. This isn't the type of microphone that you'd want to hold in your hand and talk with, for two reasons. One, it's not very comfortable, and two, the pickup isn't at the top of the microphone, it picks up your voice from the side. Another thing to note about this microphone is it is a condenser microphone, and what that means is it requires 48 volts of phantom power. So this only uses an XLR port, so there's no USBs on this microphone. So you have to have an audio interface that can provide 48 volts of phantom power. So if an audio interface is something you don't already have, then you are going to have to spend another £50–60 on an audio interface. So this option could be more expensive than the Q2U. The pickup patterns of both these microphones is actually the same. They're both cardioid, which is essentially a heart shape. This AT2020 is actually a lot simpler than the Q2U. It doesn't have any buttons or switches or even any LEDs on the microphone. All it has is an XLR port at the bottom, Audio Technica logo on the front, and then it has a stick on the back that says back, so you don't want to talk into this side, you want to talk into this side. Something to note that I found a bit disappointing about this AT2020 is it doesn't have a pop filter built in. I managed to find this smaller one that I can just slot over the front of it. But overall, the build quality of this AT2020 is very good. It's a full metal, weighty microphone that I don't feel like it's going to fall apart, and it does feel very premium. Cheeky coffee break. So before we get onto the audio test, I do want to give my thoughts up until now. If you just want a simple, good sounding microphone that you can just plug into your laptop, especially via USB, I would definitely go with a Q2U. It's a great sounding microphone. The AT2020 is only really advisable if you've already got an audio interface, otherwise it does make it more expensive. You would need a setup that allows for you to put a microphone arm on your desk. So we're going to move on to the audio test portion of this video, and to test both these microphones I am going to be using XLR for both of them, and the audio is going to be passing through the Behringer UMC22 audio interface, and I'm going to be recording the audio as MP3 files into Audacity. So this is a test of the Samson Q2U microphone. Testing, decide whether or not you like the sound of this microphone. I'm going to test the pop filter, the inbuilt pop filter. Pop, pop, I personally think this is a very nice sounding microphone. Let me know what you think in the comments section. So we are testing the AT2020 condenser microphone. This microphone does not have an inbuilt pop filter, so we'll test that. Pop, pop, pop. This is actually the microphone that I've been using for the last few videos where I've had to do voiceovers, because I do also think that this sounds very nice, and I do have an audio interface, so it's convenient to use. So if you think this is the better sounding microphone, please let me know in the comment section below. So I've now put a bit of a pop filter on the end of this microphone, so hopefully this should dampen down any of the harsh pops and make the microphone sound a little bit nicer on the ears. So let me know in the comments if you prefer this microphone to the Q2U. So after listening back to the audio recordings from both these microphones, they both sound really good. My opinion, this sounds a little bit richer, and I feel like your voice sounds a little bit bassier, whereas this seems to have a little bit more clarity, I found. I think when I was testing, I did hold this microphone a little bit too close to my mouth, or I did have the gain up a little bit too much. So if you are in a louder environment, the Q2U would be the better microphone for you. It seems to pick up less background noise. I think that's just a feature of it being a dynamic microphone, whereas this AT2020 does seem to pick up a lot more background noise. So hopefully this video has been informative. The final conclusion is actually trickier than I thought. So if you do want a simple desk microphone that you can use USB if you want to, or use an XLR, so this is a very flexible microphone, this Q2U, I would probably go with the Q2U over the AT2020. The thing that makes this a bit trickier is Audio-Technica has come out with a USB version of this AT2020, and it's actually a similar price. So if you do need the USB functionality and you prefer the AT2020, you can pick up the USB version of it. But I think you can't go wrong if you choose any of these microphones. They both sound really good, and I would like to know from you what you think's the best sounding microphone in the comments section below. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to subscribe. We're on the road to 300 subscribers, and we're going to aim for 20 likes on this video. So yeah, if you did enjoy, be sure to hit that like button, and I'll see everyone in my next video.